Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you happen to be, ladies and gentlemen. This happens to be another edition of the Living World of Darkness Rage Across New York. The scene is set very, very late in the evening, but we find the scene set at the foot of a bridge in the Fort Hammond community, just in Brooklyn, actually. Around this bridge, there is lots of traffic that usually goes on through in the early mornings on into the late afternoon. But for right now, it's very, very silent. For right now, it's not a lot of activity is going on, actually. And that would make sense. The only people that are currently up at this time of night happen to be insomniacs or people up to no good. Alan Stewart may be both of them. But he has gone ahead and gotten a message from one of his tribe mates, Miss Brennan, actually. Apparently, there's been some confusions and misunderstandings. There's something that needs to be talked about and said at length. So, after a long day of trying to organize a conservation movement in this park to set up some not necessarily wildlife sanctuaries, but at least some bird houses, some environmentally friendly bird houses to go ahead and the bolster the bird community, if we want to go ahead and say that much. He's got his eyes on the prize. He's currently looking across the bridge that connects Queens and that dreaded island, that dreaded Staten Island. And he's sitting on a bench in this very, very, very timid, not very cold, but at least timid night. And he's waiting.
It's tepid. I'm going to say that she's going to go ahead and bring him some tea because tea, yay.
Yay!
So she shows up with the cup of tea in each hand, probably a little bag with scones in it too. And settles down next to him, offers him a wet wipe from her purse. How's it going?
About as well as can be expected. And you?
Yeah, I hear that. What are you working on?
He goes ahead and points towards several different hatches that have been half made, several different projects that are just littered on the ground currently, as well as a stage. Looks like a musical stage, something for a band to get on and to perform. He goes ahead and cocks his thumb over there and says, uh, I'm getting stuff set up for a little bit of a bird festival. And
Bird festival.
yeah,
Well, that sounds like fun.
yeah, I expect a little bit of music to come by. I found one of these local groups actually to come and perform for us. I think it'd be really, really great for the kinfolk actually to come out here and sort of listen to the music, have some barbecue, do the work that's needed, and get on with the rest of their lives.
Wonder if Brian's cousins ever found another singer. Or if they just. Anyway. Bird festival. That sounds fun. Let me know if you need some help.
I'll go ahead and invite you along. We always need more volunteers to hand out food and grill and make sure people aren't too rowdy.
I'll try not to scare off anybody.
That's what the kinfolk is for. I mean, I'm probably the most mild-mannered guy around, but people are still afraid of me.
Sure. Well, that's how it goes.
That's what happens when you're a predator. No matter how lovely you seem on the outside, you still, have that radius, that aura to you. It never really goes away.
No. And, lovely is relative.
Mm-hmm.
Too sweet isn't necessarily a compliment, Silver Tongue.
But it did come from a silver tongue, did it not?
It did.
So, Moonface, what did you want to come and talk to me about?
What did you hear about Andre?
I heard from... Okay, to sort of set the scene a little bit. The keeper, Callie, was walking around the sept in the Tellurium when all of a sudden lightning went ahead and crashed right on her, ignoring all the skyscrapers, ignoring all the trees, went right to her gosh darn head and electrified her.
Is she okay?
Oh, she's better than okay. She's fine. That only pissed her off.
Oh, Callie.
She got struck by lightning. A fire got started in the park. I ran to make sure that the park services could put that fire out before fire department had to be called, because that would have been really awkward.
Yeah.
Would have been awkward to explain, but I don't want any more officials in the park than there has to be.
Sure.
So, Callie and them, everybody who was present, decided to scoot into the Umbra, settle the fire spirits that had been excited, and then she, myself, and Book, I believe your new packmate, right? We talked it over for a little bit, and we came to the realization that perhaps Grandfather Thunder was a little bit angry. It might have been for a number of different reasons. Could have been about this. Could have been about the incarceration of Sam and Leopold. Shrugs. Could have been something that the Mistress of Challenges could have told us about. Don't really know. In the end, Callie decided to go ahead and summon the totem Grandfather Thunder.
Callie does not do anything by halves.
She doesn't do anything with forethought. Which not too badly. Although this is one of the reasons the dead rabbits kind of dispersed. They followed a totem that required you to go ahead and think for a few seconds about your next action. Callie was never good with that.
Oh.
But in any case, we decided to go ahead and summon the Grand Spirit, and I was looking around. I knew this was a terrible, terrible bad idea, but at least we had 3 Garu there so that we could try to smooth things over, probably spill our blood a little bit. Spill blood, or gnosis, whatever, begs, beseech, dance. It was going to be okay. It was going to be fine, no matter what kind of punishment the Spirit would have brought upon us for being so daring. So we went ahead and summoned him. He came in like a roaring storm, like a rolling storm, actually. And that was about the time that Andre decided to walk into the scene. He walked into the scene while Callie was trying to ascertain why in the world Grandfather Thunder was so angry as to start shooting lightning at Garu and the Sept. Before we could really get an answer, Grandfather Thunder just jumped on Andre.
Is he okay?
He's still walking. He's still breathing. He's vertical and ventilating.
Sorry for interrupting. Go on.
No problem. It turns out that Grandfather Thunder has heard about Andre's indiscretions in the past. by breaking a contract with Unicorn. And he is not very happy with that at all. When asked to explain his actions and how, and I quote, he would make this right, he said that he was actually talking to a few people. Your name came up. Grandfather Thunder pretty much did not take that very well. He did not consider that fixing the problem. He wanted more. And until we fixed the problem, he would go ahead and continue to harass the Sept.
Ouch.
Yeah. That's what happened with Andre.
He hasn't sought me out. I hope he's talking to Theurges.
I do so too. Moonface, you know you can be honest with me, right?
Alan, honesty is I like to think, thing that I hold dear.
Alright. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I'm not any of those things. I just want to figure things out. Especially not angry with you. If anything, I'm more annoyed with Andre. But tell me, what happened between you and Andre? Why is he saying that you are helping him?
I told him I would help him. I would like to help him. I told him that I don't believe he's beyond redemption. And I don't believe he's beyond redemption. I think that he's proud and lonely and insufferable, but not beyond redemption. It seems to me that what he lacks is a little bit of perspective. Well, maybe a lot of perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But to be generous, at least a little bit of perspective. He doesn't understand why Unicorn or Black Unicorn should be annoyed with him.
Okay.
I'm not sure what help he thinks I've offered him, but it sounds as though you at least think it's different than what I think I've offered him.
Okay, then tell me. Just tell me, because I don't have all the facts. I have names, I have figures, I have very, very angry voices from the sky yelling at me and threatening thunder and lightning.
Oh, Alan, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. As soon as you step on Sept, you're probably going to get electrocuted as well.
I'll brace myself and make sure I don't have anything breakable in my pockets.
What did you offer?
I offered a listening ear first, which is important.
Hmm?
And I'm not ashamed. It's my job to hear both sides of every story, and I've heard the other side of his story from many tongues. Some of them silver, not all of them. I thought it was important that I heard it from his, too. I offered to help speak to Unicorn after hearing his story, though I will not summon Unicorn for him until he's changed his mind, changed his attitude, made reparations. Anyway.
Okay, that is, well, that makes me believe a little bit more. That alleviates some of my concerns. Because apparently Andre, at the time, said that he was speaking to you and that you would help him talk to Unicorn to try to make amends. And that was something that I did not want to have happen. You understood the message that I sent through by Dove, right?
I think so.
If he is to find that redemption, he will have to find that redemption without Unicorn, without Unicorn's brood, without her children. We cannot help him with this.
But when it comes time for him to make amends with Unicorn, I don't think he's wise to go it alone.
That's why I suggested you go ahead and point out any of the theurges to him. Any of them. Sam is a fantastic example, although he's currently incarcerated.
Do you think Chiminage will be enough to satisfy Unicorn, or do you think a change of heart will be needed?
I do not believe that he is capable of changing his heart. And I do not believe that Chimnage is all that is due. I believe Chimnage will be able enough to bribe away Unicorn and at least make a show to Grandfather Thunder. But I do not know what kind of Chimnage he'd be able to pay.
No, nor do I. I can't imagine the Chimnage that would soothe our totem, particularly after the last time. I don't like to think that anyone is incapable of a change of heart.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of somebody redeeming themselves after breaking a spiritual pact?
You mean without help?
With or without help? Tell me both stories.
I'm not sure I have either story off the top of my head. Do you have one, Galliard?
I have many, many stories about how breaking pacts with spirits is the most detrimental thing you could do as a Garu. I have weird stories of heroes and villains being heroes. I have weird stories in which in Act 1, the protagonist is just a awful villain that will go ahead and sell your skin to the highest bidder, and in the second act, he is a courageous warrior trying to fight for his own. And by own, I mean more than just himself, for his family, for his friends, and whatever nonsense. It's just the first act is so jarring from the second act. You kind of question if it's the same person.
I understand. I think Andre would like to be that protagonist.
Look at what Andre has to offer. He is a rune with a cup and a half full of rage. Unicorn, as far as I understand her, wants peace, understanding, love, compassion, protection. Black Unicorn, for his part, defending of the weak and those who cannot. I do not see how Naroon with such a high rage and such a pride can do that.
Even Unicorn is armed. Even Unicorn will fight to protect those who can't protect themselves. I think it's important that someone tell Andre the story in which he can be a hero. I think that's where his change of heart lies. Where he can be the hero in the way that Unicorn would wish. He wants to save his kinfolk. I offered to help with his kinfolk. There's a kinfolk lady he is enamored of, and he believes she's being held by spirals. I think even if Andre's involved, Unicorn can't begrudge me that quest.
This is a story that I have not heard. Tell it again, and you're breaking up.
Oh no!
Yay!
Is that better?
Better. Just restart from your last words.
Did you hear what I said about being a hero? Uh-oh, you froze. Oh no! Everything is terrible.
Everything is terrible.
I can hear you, but your camera is frozen.
When you're all alone. Much better?
I can't see you still, but I can hear you.
All right. Cool.
Just- Do I sound like a
Hello?
robot? Everything is beautiful. Okay. I think Andre needs to be told a story in which he can be a hero in the way that we would want him to be a hero. Do you understand? He needs something to protect. He has the fury and the battle prowess to be a hero. But he doesn't have the ties or the story. That's what I told him.
All right.
Actually, what I told him was that he's being a terrible Shadow Lord. And that if nobody likes him, he won't be able to properly utilize his gifts. But that's neither here nor there.
You mentioned something about a kinfolk.
Yes, he is in love with a kinfolk he met, I believe in the Rockies, when they came upon a hive of spiral dancers who had some sort of breeding operations going. And he became enamored of Shadow Lord kinfolk. He's done a quest, or a rite to try and find her and know she's alive. But I imagine that if she is still in the hands of the spirals, she will need all of the grace that Unicorn can offer when we find her.
When he goes about that quest on himself.
You think he'll go alone? You don't think the Sept would stand behind him to rescue a kinfolk? I understand that a quest for redemption has to be undertaken alone. But a rescue mission...
At this moment, the Sept is being besieged by Grandfather Thunder, electrocuting Aru around. And he is not going to be satisfied until Andre is either redeemed himself, or the Sept goes ahead and takes actions for itself.
Ah, Jesus.
Yeah. Grandfather Thunder will not at any point.
He doesn't have time to go find his kinfolk.
Say again?
I said he doesn't even have time to go find his kinfolk. There's too much shit going on.
It'd be better for him to go ahead and focus his priorities. If that means that he must go and find his kinfolk on his own, try to gather alloys and resources from other Septs, so be it. That might be the best thing for him. If he's looking for some kind of redemption with Grandfather Thunder, trying to find a kinfolk and reclaiming her would be one way to do it. It would not do anything for his breaking the pact with Unicorn, though.
No.
Unless that kinfolk was given over to Unicorn to heal, to foster, to grow. A kinfolk for a broken spiritual pact? You're a Philodox.
Are you asking me to to try and guess Unicorn's mind.
No, I guess you would have to have a theater to do that.
I hope that's not my role. Well, there's nothing I can do for him if he's taking care of it now. I can't leave. Not now. But I hope they both come back in one piece and that there's a happy ending to this story.
Andre hasn't left. I'm sorry if I led you to believe that.
No, I'm sorry. Maybe I misunderstood. Are you expecting me to tell him to? He's not coming to me for advice. I should warn you that I don't think the Shadow Lord is particularly interested in listening to Cleath.
Tell me about that then.
You know Andre.
I know Andre. I know when I first met him, I was quite deferential to him, both because of his rank and because of his enormous amounts of rage. I remember leaving my own water bottle right in front of him for him to take, should he so wish.
Then you completely understand. I've offered my advice, but I don't know that it will do him any good. If you're worried about my honor, though...
I am worried about your honor. You are one of my tribe mates. I am extremely worried about you in your position and your honor, as well as your standing with our totem.
I hope that you will be reassured that I have more sense than deference.
That's good. Most people don't understand this, especially when they're new, and I made this mistake more than once. Mercy and wisdom are not always brought into the same person together.
That's fair. I pray that someday I will be possessed of both at the same time.
It's going to be awfully hard. Sometimes nobody's going to listen to your wisdom. I do know that much.
That's definitely true. And I'm afraid what's just as likely is that no one will listen to my mercy. But I think that's the eternal problem of the Philodox.
Eternal problem of Philodox and the eternal problem of this tribe.
Yes.
You should talk to Contemplates Mercy. He was the old master of challenges within the set before Victoria came along.
His deed name in that context is beautiful.
Yeah, he was, or I should say, he is an Adrin of the Gita so the caveat that I always have to Contemplates is you can contemplate the mercy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he will be merciful.
Do you know the story of his deed name?
Yes, actually. He told it to me one of these days.
Should I ask him?
No, I've been given permission to tell the story. One day he was in the arena, actually. He himself was quite an accomplished warrior at that time. He was battling 2 and 3 of the younger cubs against him over and over and over again, continuing to best them. But there was one cub that would not stand down, that would not let go, that saw Contemplates as something to be overcome or die trying. Literally, that was his thought. I don't know why he came to that position, or why he thought that, but Contemplates saw that. He saw that he would continue standing up. No matter how much he bled, no matter how many bones he broke in that cub's body, he continued to stand and he continued to charge. One round, he decides, I'm not going to finish him. I'm going to trip him up, I'm going to let him fall, and I'm not going to go for the death blow. He stopped for a whole goddamn second. He hesitated. His father saw the hesitation and called the match right then and there, because he did not want dishonor brought to Contemplates for hesitating. In that moment, he was given that name because he contemplated giving mercy to that cub who did not desire it and did not want it.
Interesting. That's a very rich name.
Go talk to him about it to get the more full and detailed version of that story. I imagine he likes telling it.
I hope so. I'll do that.
Fantastic tea.
Team? Oh, tea.
Yeah.
Good.
He says he starts to take a long drag of it. How did you recover after our excursion to Staten Island?
Just fine. I'm a good healer. I patch up well.
Good.
I missed most of that, unfortunately. Or fortunately.
It's fine. I believe at the end of that, or at least when you went down, everybody was thinking that... Here's the thing. When you went down, each one of us was thinking about how bad it had gone in the past, how we had already lost to Pass and Brian just 2 weeks before, and we weren't willing to take that risk with you. We grabbed you, and we ran. Probably could have beaten all 5 of them if we really, really focused and we weren't scared shitless, but Antonio had already made the call. And believe me, your new packmate, Book, really cares about you. He is the one that stopped everything, picked you up, and ran with you. If he hasn't told you already, ask him about it. It's quite endearing, actually.
I have a good pack. But I hope that I'm not going to be a detriment to war parties.
From what I hear, all the other leads that you've been brought on, you've done work. You've done good work. It's just, we all knew that was a trap going into it, and we weren't willing to lose anybody.
Well, I certainly appreciate not being lost, especially to a pack of spirals.
You can notice that Alan's looking off across the bridge towards Staten Island.
I hope in the event that... Well, I just hope you'll make sure I'm dead. And that my skin, preferably, is unusable.
Your skin will be buried with you.
I can't stand the thought of any of this sept being used to make a costume.
They steal your identity, they steal your name, they steal your life, they steal your friends, they steal your family, all by just wearing your skin.
I mean, what worse could you do to someone? Never mind. Don't answer that. Regara, we should never ask that question.
It's all burning. Staten Island is burning right now. It's burning.
What?
It's burning green balefire. Or at least it was last time I checked.
I heard him. I heard him laugh, but I didn't look back.
That was a good thing.
I don't suppose there's any chance they were caught in the inferno.
I hope to dear Gaia they were. At least one of them. Still got plans for that island. It's just can't move quite yet until they're cleared out.
Until it's not on fire anymore.
Can still operate. Just can't operate Umbral side. Gotta go Delirium. We've got a good scent. We got good trackers in the Mental Mori.
Be safe.
Oh, I'm always safe.
You are. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. You appreciate it? I appreciate it as well. I mean, this body is like the only one I've got.
Without a little creative skinning.
True.
Ugh. So are your fears assuaged?
My fears are assuaged. So long as you keep a good head on your shoulders, so long as you understand why we dislike him, why we distrust him, why some of us actually hate him.
I do. Unfortunately.
He will find his own redemption. If he finds it at all. Talk to Maylin. No, excuse me. Scratch that. I don't know that in character.
Moonface does, but she doesn't tell him.
No. He knows of the character. He was going to say something, but that was not in character knowledge. That was out of character knowledge. Anyways.
Sure.
Blah, 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 blah. So what do we call this festival?
Your Festival of Birds?
Yeah.
When's it happening?
I plan to have it happen 2 weekends from now.
You could call it Flock to the Park. I'm bad at names. Don't ask a Philodox. Go get a Ragabash.
Fair enough. What else do you need me for?
That's about it. You want some help with these birdhouses?
No, I've got it. I'm not sleeping these days.
Yeah, I understand. You know you can come find me, right, if you can't sleep? I'd be happy to keep you company in your insomnia.
Well, there is a midnight seminar going on.
I haven't seen much cinema. I get a little worked up. Are you sure that's a good idea?
Oh, it's a musical.
Really?
Yeah. Ever heard of the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
What, it's a musical called The Horror Picture Show?
Yeah. You should totally bring your pack along. It'll be an amusing experience.
I'm going to perception empathy to see how much sarcasm is in that voice.
Okay.
Oh, nope. Nope.
Alan must be very, very sincere at the moment.
I think most of them are sleeping, but I will extend your invitation.
fantastic. And then sort of like sways and closes his eye for us, I think. The tea
She's
is about to fall over.
Puts one hand out for the tea and the other hand out for him in case he starts to go down. Alan, you're nodding off.
Your voice is very, very sweet.
You know, I would be happy to read to you from my law books. They could put, oh, where you go? Hang on. She just takes his tea. Let me have that. It's not working. Give me the tea.
Shoves over the tea.
Thank you. She moves over on the bench and she just pats her lap. Sleep. If you're going to sleep.
Just going to go ahead and collapse in your lap.
I hope you have good dreams.
I don't get what I want.
Well, here. And she reaches down, opens up her purse, and pulls out a law book. I'll read to you. At least they'll be boring.
Yay.
And Alan gets to fall asleep to the incredibly inspiring words of environmental law.
A lot of federal articles and subclauses, along with annotations of where this became precedent.
Yes, exactly.
You want to give us a little bit of outro?
No.
It's like, no, I don't want to. I'm not that creative.
If I had a law book available, I would.
All right, fair enough. I'll go ahead and do it myself. Well, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for continuing to play this fantastic venue. We will go ahead and see what next kooky and crazy adventures these two get themselves up to. For now, we bid you adieu.